Hello, everyone, and welcome to this recap from round 6 of the Grenke Chess Classic in Baden-Baden, Germany. I'm Grandmaster Lars Bo Hansen, Don Corleone here at ICC, and it's a pleasure to recap this round. Although we only had one decided game, Anand's win against Baramitse, we had a lot of interesting chess today, including a highly theoretical battle between the world number 1 and the world number 2, Carlsen versus Caruana. And that's the game that I wanted to start with. Clearly, it's always interesting for chess fans when the two best players in the world square off on the board, and also in terms of the tournament standings, this was a very important game. In that, before the round, Carlsen was tied for the lead together with the surprise of the tournament, the German grandmasters Arkady Neidich, with Caruana just half a point behind. And Caruana had white pieces against Magnus Carlsen, so clearly this was a very important game for the standings of this tournament. As always, Caruana starts with 1e4, and clearly there is some psychology between these two super grandmasters, that they played each other several times. Carlsen has sometimes experimented a little bit in the opening, but has had some problems in some of those experiments. And in this game here, this very important game, he goes back to his main weapon that has served him very well in the two World Championship matches, the first one in the second one, it was mainly from the white perspective that he played the Berlin variation of the Ruy Lopez. But of course, that's not without risk, because Fabiano Caruana is well known as a big specialist of the Berlin from the white side. So clearly this was going to be a heavy battle between the numbers 1 and 2 in the world. So this line here was clearly popularized going back to the year 2000, where Vladimir Kramnik used it as his main weapon to defeat Garry Kasparov in the match in London for the World Championship. And Kasparov was not able to break down Kramnik's very solid defense in the Berlin, but later it has evolved from being just a solid opening where Black just plays for trying to equalize, and it's actually a weapon where you can play for a win. And clearly that's because of the imbalances in the position, that Black will have two very powerful bishops that he might be able to use later. White, on the other hand, will have to try to play for either some threats against Black's king that is now uncastled, and also White clearly has the better pawn structure with this 4 versus 3 on the king side, whereas Black is not really able to do something with his 4 versus 3 on the queen side because it's a double c-pawn. So both sides have their trumps here, and that's why this line is popular. It's certainly not a drawing weapon by any means. It's a highly imbalanced position. That said, though, this does turn into a pretty equal position early on, and the game finally ends in a draw. After h3 and h6, we are already heading towards something very theoretical here. King goes to e8, and we already see these imbalances. Caruana, as I said, is a big expert on that. Develops his knight here to the center, and Carlsen plays one of the many